my god, it's just shredding the leaves like nothing. Look at this thing. Woo! What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Mr. Random, and just to get things out of the way really quickly, we have here what you guys are looking at is called the New Bright BADZILLA. This is what the car looks like. Now, before we get into the actual review of the car, the reason I'm actually even doing this review is because originally I wanted to do an RC rally car face-off between the A959 and the A949. Unfortunately, the steering servo burnout on this rally car, I'm not too sure why, so I'm gonna have to get that fixed. And also the charger for both of them isn't charging the battery correctly. So I've been itching to kind of get back into RCing, and I know I got quite a few people who actually subscribe to my channel because of my RC videos and my RC reviews. So I didn't really want to let you guys down because I did have a really sweet thing planned. Like I said, I wanted to do like a super ultimate cheap RC rally car face-off, but unfortunately we had to change things up. So I bring you guys to the New Bright BADZILLA. Now, just coincidentally, I happened to be browsing the clearance aisle by Kmart, and I came across this bad boy. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys secretly, I've always had a thing for these BADZILLAs, but I've been turned away from New Bright for a very long time. I actually swore away from them, especially from my last New Bright review, which was a complete and total waste of money. And I gotta tell you guys, this is by far one of the worst RCs I have ever had the displeasure of driving. This thing is absolutely a piece of crap. And guess what? How much this thing's worth? $80 at Toys R Us. So I was a little bit skeptical coming into another New Bright, but like I said, I've seen a couple videos about this thing, but nobody has tested it the way that I'm about to test it. Like always, you guys know I always go all out with everything I do. So this is what the actual car looks like. Now, there's a couple of you, there's a select few of you, really hardcore old school RC fans who are gonna say that this particular RC resembles another RC, and we're gonna get to that in a second. But that is exactly why I decided to get this. I wanted to see if it actually lived up to the name of its predecessor, of who it's supposed to be taking over. And if it does, I will tell you guys, this will actually turn out to be one hell of an RC. Now, like I was saying, in case some of you new young guys that are just getting into the RC hobby need a reminder, and you need me to tell you guys which legendary RC, of course, that I'm talking about, that this one is supposed to replace. Of course, I'm talking about the Tyco Fast Traxx. Now, this car right here has earned legendary status amongst the really hardcore RC fans, particularly because this car, which came out in the 1990s, at the time was the fastest available toy grade RC car that you could ever get. And surprisingly enough, almost 20 something years later, it's still one of the fastest toy grade RC cars you can get. It actually almost even beat one of my hobby grade RC cars, the Rally Monster. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. Now, obviously, this car has seen better days, and it actually has become a bit of a shelf queen for me. I really did not want to use this RC car ever again. I actually swore against ever using this RC car. I told myself I'm going to put it away. I don't want the motor to burn out. But then we have the newcomer, the new challenger, and you guys already know what time it is. When there's a new challenger up to the plate, we must put it to the test. Now, to get the comparisons right off the bat, it's very easy to see they are almost actually identical to the T in length. As you guys can see, there are very minor cosmetic features, cosmetic differences. Of course, the tracks in the Fast Traxx are fully exposed from the end to the front. For the BADZILLA, they're actually covered up a bit towards the back, which could actually prolong the track life of the car. Another advantage that this car has is that it's brand new, and there's a lot more of them, so you can always get different ones and swap out the parts. Whereas in this one, you can spend up to $170 to $200 on a 20-something-year-old car. This thing, like I said, this thing is a collectible at this point, and I'm gonna bring it out and we're gonna put it to the test one more time we're gonna try the speed test and we're gonna see how it stacks up to the newcomer. Now, some other things that we might notice, believe it or not, actually the Tyco Fast Traxx is more aerodynamic. It's a lot lower to the ground. It's a lot sleeker design. It looks like a jet fighter with these rear wings that extend out and come towards the front. It has a very, very aerodynamic design, whereas the BADZILLA, although it looks, in my opinion, I think the BADZILLA looks a lot cooler, especially with a spoiler. It's very bulky and it's not as aerodynamic as the Tyco Fast Traxx. Now, another difference is that the Tyco Fast Traxx has a fully hard body, which is incredibly durable. This one has a Lexan body, as you guys can see. It's kind of like what all the new modern RC cars have. It is very durable. You know, it does resist scratches and stuff like that, and it is interchangeable. It is replaceable. This one does come with some body clips that we're gonna go ahead and explore in just a minute. Now, looking at the rear of the car, as you guys can see, we have here with the Fast Traxx, we have dual spring rear suspension, and it is functional. And we do have low and a high gear, and believe it or not, it actually does make a huge difference. There is a difference when you switch the gears. As you guys can see, it does, the car does, it does flex with that suspension. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the BADZILLA, and let's see under the hood. We have a full solid body, very cheaply made. Like always, this is New Bright. They always make everything as low and as cost efficient as possible, but I am holding on to hope for this car because I really do want it to succeed. I do want this to be actually really good. Now, where the BADZILLA does have suspension, it's in the front of the car, and it's right there. You guys can see the springs, whereas in the Tyco Fast Traxx has no front suspension. So it's very interesting that they're flip-flopped. This one has suspension in the rear, not in the front. This one has suspension in the front, not in the rear. So that's very interesting design choice. Like you guys can see, it does flex. It actually is pretty decent suspension for what it is. The tracks feel very good. They feel like they're almost made out of plastic compared to the actual real true rubber tracks from the Fast Traxx. But one advantage that the BADZILLA does have over the Fast Traxx is this is a 2.4 gigahertz controller, where this is just your basic 27 megahertz controller, which means that this has a very small range, and this one has a very long and far range. All right, so now that we're done doing the comparison, like I said, this car right here is supposed to replace that 20-something-year-old Legend that you guys see back there. So it's kind of a big deal. That's why I really wanted to get in depth in between the differences and the similarities between both of them, because after all, this is pretty much a full comparison video. That's one of the reasons why I got this, is because if this is better than that one, then we are in good territory. Now, one thing I noticed is that the body does have 4 posts, and it came with these little body clips that I removed. And surprisingly enough, you could actually remove the body from the RC, exposing the internals. There we go. Now you guys can see it does have dual motors and the front, which they seem to be somewhat waterproof. I mean, I still wouldn't put this thing through any sort of water. There we have the antenna, which is a lot smaller compared to this big flimsy thing over there. We have our springs, so you know it's really easy to work on the car and fix anything in case it breaks. So that's pretty cool that they actually allow you to remove the body, whereas in that one you really can't remove anything. Another advantage that the BADZILLA has over its long lost cousin over there is that this Lexan body, remember the other one is a fully hard one solid molded plastic. This car, incredibly light. 2 fingers, incredibly light. So add that with the strong motors in the front, and it should be for a good deal. Now, this RC does come with batteries for the controller, which I gotta say, this is probably, and I said that in my last New Bright video, that I said I would never do another New Bright RC in my life. This is a 3D printed controller. You can see pretty much just how cheaply designed. Just listen to this and watch the analogs. Watch. I mean, this is by far one of the this is the cheapest remote control controller that I have seen in my life. You have your tank-like controllers. This button goes up, This one goes full back and forward. So does this one. You alternate them to make the car do spins and turn left and right. It also does come with a quick charger as well. And the battery is a 12.8 volt lithium ion battery, which does charge up a lot faster. It provides a little bit more energy for your car, and it lasts a little bit longer compared to that one, which was a 9.6 volts. So we are done reviewing the car. All that's left to do is actually go out there, put this bad boy through its paces, put it to the test, and then stack it up against the old schooler right there, the Legend. And let's see how well it holds up in a head-to-head race. Will this surpass its master, or will it fall behind in the dust? Let's go find out. All right, guys, so like I said, we're gonna be testing out the BADZILLA against the Legend right there, man. The Tyco Fast Traxx. They've been lined up as best as possible. Place your bets now, guys. Which one do you think is gonna win? The old timer or the newcomer? Let's move this back a little bit more. There we go. Now we're good to go. So which one is gonna take the win, guys? Let me know in the comment section down below. And let's get this race started. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, guys, so it seems that right off the bat they both accelerate fairly quickly, but at the end the overall top speed was given to the Tyco Fast Traxx. We're gonna try to do this one more time. Here we go. Round 2. 2, 1, go. All right, guys, and there you have it. So like I said, it was actually pretty evenly matched, except at the very end the Tyco Fast Traxx takes the win because of the overall top speed. Either way, I'm very, very satisfied with those results. Not a bad effort made by the newcomer, the new contender, the BADZILLA. So like I said, the champ still holds the crown. Now let's go ahead and test this bad boy out and put it through every pace that I possibly can and see how it holds up. So let's get right into it. All right, now we're gonna try to do a little bit of a challenge. Let's see if it could actually climb up this hill and these steps. Remember, it does have these tank-like treads, so it should be able to take it on fairly easy. Now, it's hard to tell, but this is quite inclined. As you guys can see, the lower we go, it becomes a lot easier to see how inclined this little thing is. Now, the question is, can the BADZILLA tackle this challenge? Well, let's find out. Go through the dirt first, man. Oh my god, like nothing. Woo! Oh yeah! All right, we're gonna try to climb up that hill one more time. Here we go. Here we go. Look at that, like nothing. Woo! All right, so now we're in some relatively medium grass. It's not the world's highest grass, but every toy grade RC usually suffers a lot when it comes to these grass tests. So far the BADZILLA has been holding up very, very well. You guys can see it's already battle scarred. It's full of dust, it's full of dirt, but it's still trekking along. So let's go ahead and put it through some medium grass tests and see how this little toy grade RC does. So far I'm very impressed. Look at that. Dude, this thing goes through grass like butter, man. Wow, man. Well, I'll tell you what, man, New Bright definitely redeemed themselves with this little bad boy. Now, if you guys take a look down yonder, there is a bunch of dirt and dead leaves, and oh my god, it just looks like the perfect place to test this car. We're gonna take it over there, so let's go ahead and make our way through the little track. Here we go. Now the second test is, can the BADZILLA make it through all of this pile of leaves and twigs and dirt and everything else? It's been holding up so good. Can it make it, guys? What do you guys think? You think it's gonna make it through the dirt pile? Well, let's go ahead and find out. Oh my God, man. Look at that, it just shreds right through all those leaves like nothing. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, it's just shredding the leaves like nothing. Look at this thing. All right, guys, and last but not least, the last obstacle to test the tank-like capabilities, the climbing-like capabilities of our BADZILLA. We're gonna go ahead and put it through this obstacle course right here. Look at all these different kinds of rocks, and some of them are actually very, very hard to climb over for any regular RC. So let's see if the BADZILLA can handle it. Oh yeah, look at that, right over it. Like nothing. Here we go, here comes the next one. Look at that, jumping from one to the other. Oh my God, it just rolled right over it, man. No problem whatsoever. Dude, this thing can take so much punishment. This is the perfect kit. This is a perfect toy for kids, guys, right here. I mean, they're really hard to find now at this point. Like I said, I got lucky. I found the last one on clearance at Kmart. They are available at Toys R Us or Walmart too, I'm guessing. But man, I'll tell you what, man, your kids will have a blast with this thing. Look at the amount of abuse you can put this car through. And it does not care. It just keeps on going like a freaking tank. Look at this. Oh my God. Through the grass, zero fucks. All right, baby. All right, guys, so in conclusion, I was definitely surprised by the BADZILLA, man. I am glad I decided to give it a chance and try it out. This thing is definitely worth the money, especially for a toy grade RC, guys. This is the perfect toy to get your child. You guys saw the amount of abuse I put this car through. Never in my life have I seen a regular toy grade RC go through grass, sand, gravel, dirt, leaves, obstacles, different kind of rocks. It even climbed up on this rock. Still the battery going strong. The battery has not even faded yet, and not only that, it almost beat, by less than half a car, it almost beat the legendary Tyco Fast Traxx, and that in my book, guys, is a win. I definitely recommend the new bright BADZILLA, and I'll tell you what, man, this thing is one bad mother